speak a second language fluently, I want you to raise your hand and look around. Okay. The U.S. is currently lacking in the ability to speak foreign languages. Now, personally, I took Spanish in high school, but that was mainly just to graduate. So now let's jump right into the problem. So the problem is the United States is far behind other countries in the ability to speak foreign languages, which in turn leads into the lack of understanding culture. In the article, Fostering Foreign Language Proficiency, What the U.S. Can Learn from Other Countries, Donna Christian states, today in Europe, more than 50% of adults speak a second language fluently. By contrast, only about 9% of adults in the U.S. are highly proficient in a second language. To add to this, in a journal titled U.S. Foreign Language Learning Lags, it was stated that the Pew Research Center has recently reported that only 20% of U.S. students are learning a foreign language in school. In comparison, 92% of European students study a foreign language, typically starting at ages 6 to 9, whereas in the U.S., it's about 14. More from this journal states, some countries such as Liechtenstein, Luxembourg, Malta, Norway, Austria, Romania, and France all report that 100% of their students learn a foreign language. Belgium, at 64%, has the lowest rate of language learning among European nations. New Jersey, at 51%, which is leading the U.S., it still lags behind Belgium. Some states such as Arkansas, Arizona, New Mexico go as low as 9%. So clearly you can see there's a problem. Now, why is this a problem? The United States is made up of many different cultures and languages, but doesn't even push to learn them. In the article, The Increasingly Diverse United States of America, Dan Keating said that from 2000 to 2014, a place called Hamilton County, located in Indiana, had the greatest increase in racial and ethnic diversity of any county with at least 50,000 people. And as you can see by the chart here, the diversity in America is only growing. Another reason for why this is a problem. Other countries go out to learn our culture and our main language, but we hardly even spend the time to learn theirs. From the article, What the U.S. Can Learn from Other Countries, Nancy C. Rhodes talked about how an American school teacher named Elizabeth Clayton visited a first grade classroom in France and how these 6-year-olds would move from French to English to Spanish as naturally as breathing. In another article titled Holt-Lautenberg introduced a bill to support innovative approaches to foreign language teaching, it states, only 44% of American high school students are enrolled in foreign language classes, and only 31% of American elementary schools even offer foreign languages. So there's 6-year-olds in France that can go from three languages. They're spending their time studying English and learning American culture, and over here in America, only 31% of our elementary schools even offer the foreign language, and less kids are even taking the classes. And lastly, for why this is a problem, is learning foreign languages enhances communication with other countries. It reduces conflict. And this is a problem because since we're lacking the teaching of foreign language, we're losing communication and increasing conflict with other countries. So the reasons for this problem. There's no strict national policy on foreign language requirements here in the U.S. In Taylor McKenzie's article titled The Foreign Language Education Problem, she said that since there's no national policy, only 11 states actually required students to learn a foreign language, and students in some of these states can replace those foreign language classes with art classes. If a student can replace a foreign language class with an art class, they're clearly going to take the art class over the foreign language class. Another reason for this problem. Americans think they can just go anywhere and someone will speak English. And if someone doesn't speak English, then they can use a translator. But this is what leads to conflict, because in an article called Spanning the Globe, Eric Cassano talks about how during translation, 20% of the meaning might get lost due to differences in grammar, sentence structure, or idioms when translating from one language to another. And for the solution, the national government needs to put a strict policy out on foreign language education. This has been attempted before when in 2007, President Bush requested $114 million to pay for the teaching of critical languages in both K-12 and higher education. I took this from Kathleen Manzo's article, Other Native English Countries Ahead of the United States. Within that policy push, the government can promote or make a requirement for foreign language when students are graduating elementary, middle school, high school, and college. Now this was talked about in Vanessa Cardinal's article, America's Need for a Foreign Language Requirement, where she went over how the Japanese are required to know 2 foreign languages to graduate college. If this problem remains, the U.S. is going to continue to fall behind. Americans will keep struggling in world markets and fail to understand foreign culture. Americans are going to continue to be seen as lazy and selfish for not even bothering to learn other languages and cultures. However, if it's resolved, the U.S. is going to be able to communicate with other nations much easier. They're going to be able to cope with the growing diversity of its own country. Obtaining jobs will become easier, and it's going to introduce more culture. So, I advise you to go out and promote this policy on foreign language education, and when you have kids of your own, to start them young. Thank you.